Hi everybody, this is John Hiley with DentTrainer.com. Wanted to go over a tutorial with you today. We're actually going to be working on this 2008 Kia Sportage. And as you can see, we got a large hit up here on the fender. So we're going to go over and explore some techniques, some tips and techniques throughout this repair process. And we'll just go ahead and jump right in this and get you started right away. That right there would be the main impact area. Jumping back here all the way up into the fender here. Now, like many large dent removals, you know, we don't guarantee for this stuff to be perfect. We just guarantee that it will be perfectly better than taking it to a body shop. And definitely less painful as far as the cost of a repair like this. But that's something that you want to stress when you start doing these large dents, because sometimes metal becomes so stretched and so damaged that, you know, it might not be perfect in your light, but when you look at it in the natural, it'll be just an absolutely beautiful repair when you learn how to master these large hits. So yeah, so we're looking pretty much all the way through the fender. Ripple and wave, ripple and wave. One of the first things that I do on a large dent removal like this is begin checking all of my access points. We definitely got a few really nice points to go in here. I'm going to start off this repair. I'm not going to pull the headlight. I mean, we've got a nice opening right up through here. Got a great leverage point that's steel. It's not plastic, so we don't have to worry about breaking or anything like that on the inside connection here by leveraging against it. We got a couple different plugs up here that I need to explore, and we also have this underliner here that we're just going to pull right back. So definitely lots of options here as far as access goes. I don't necessarily see it important to pull the headlight off at this point. Now, you know, don't hold me to that. Sometimes throughout a repair, you make a decision at the beginning, and then throughout the repair, you begin getting annoyed with whatever position you have to work in, and then you just go ahead and do it. So this right here is the first access point that I was talking about. This right here is made of steel, so it makes a nice leveraging point. This right here is a factory plug that's interesting to me, and we're going to go ahead and pop that off. We will check it and see if it's accessible down in through there. And next point of entry is definitely the under fender liner, okay? This one right here feels very loose. There's literally nothing attaching the fender liner to the inside of the panel. It looks like there may have been something right here at one time and it has disappeared. But we will go ahead and pull that back, and that'll give me an opportunity to even fit my hand up in here and begin. All right, everybody, so I'm getting ready to jump in here and make my first pushes with my hand. Like any repair, you know, I'm going to jump in here and just see how it works out. I may decide to go ahead and switch up my, my plan of attack, of course. But for right now, we're just going to see if I can move a lot of this metal along. I don't have no light on it. Don't need one at this point. We're not doing any kind of defining or definition work. Something I did want to make a note about here is that this is not only just a round dent. This is actually a crease within several round dents. So that's what makes it categorized in definitely a little bit more of an advanced repair. All right, and then obviously the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and push this fender liner aside. Give myself a little bit of room to work in there. It is a little bit tight, but I'm going to be able to get my hand up in there. I'm going to cover it here with this microfiber. Just roll up in here. There we go. All right, so that one's not going anywhere. This one, let me see here. This might end up in the kind of the funny clips. Oh, there we go. I got it. All right. So there we are. I think that is definitely the amount of damage I can get from pushing from the backside and just concentrating all of it. Basically what this did was this took this damage and isolated it into, it appears to be multiple round dents. So now that we've got it moved along at this point, we're actually going to go in and treat every one of these dents as an individual dent. And going to definitely start off with some soft-tipped pushing throughout this repair process. All right, everybody, here we have it. We definitely shallowed this dent up quite a bit. Again, putting it into several round dents that are going to need to be independently repaired. What we have here at this point on some of these larger dents here towards the middle, you can see that there's a crown right there at the top. And when you cross-check it from the other angle, you'll see that there's a crown coming in at the other angle. Pretty much at this point, we're going to go into some pushing work. I do want this metal pushed up a little bit before I go into any of the crown work. And definitely going to do that right now with some soft tip tools and just kind of get this damage coast along. I want to shallow a lot of this damage up before we actually go into a little bit of crown work. All right, guys, so what I'm going to start off here with is this nice soft tip tool. It has this real nice bend on it that I love in these positions. So I'm actually going to go in through the cavity that we found up here in between the light and the actual fender, and I'm going to drop it down in there and begin working the first part of this damage. So let's jump in here and get to work. All right, guys, so what we're doing here is making these pushes. Now, I'm not trying to finish anything at this point. I'm just trying to coast some metal along and try to get all this damage just up to a decent level to where we can actually go into a nice knockdown session. So we'll start out with the dent that's closest to the headlight and just kind of work our way on down. As you can see, even with the soft tip, guys, I'm just making little pushes. Just being real nice and easy with it. You know, we definitely don't want to make more work for us in the end than what's actually needed. Just taking it easy, kind of shallowing it up to where I know that I'm going to have to go in there with a sharper tool and finish it up. I can actually begin to see the creases now and the lines that are going to need to be repaired with a little bit of a sharper tool. I'm not going to get into the big over molding. I'm going to have to definitely go in from several different angles on damage like this. Our goal now is just to shallow it up. All right, guys, that's enough from that angle. We're going to move further on down the panel. Still using a soft tip for all of our pushing. Again, I have not even began any crown work on this panel. You'll notice there's a lot of dents that I will normally do a lot of the crown work prior to actually getting into pushing. This one's not one of them. I mean, the crown was elongated. It wasn't tight. It wasn't holding in the metal to the point to where it was paramount to knocking that down to coast out the metal. You really got to feel each and every dent that you repair. You know, you got to feel it out, know what you're working with, and decide to make the decision on how you're going to start that dent based off of, you know, sound reasoning. And this one right here, one of the reasons why I made that decision to go ahead and pushing it first and getting some of this metal out of the locked up from the bottom of the deep part of the dents would actually help coast the crown work along during the repair process. It appeared to me that if I would have started out by doing the crown work to begin with, it literally had a chance of sinking the dents in and making them deeper. In a sense, the crown work would have not complemented the dent repair. There is times when you got a dent that's just nothing but crown. You know, you look at that thing, and you've seen several, you know, you folks have probably watched some of the tutorials where some of the large dents that I've done that was just nothing but a crown. And you can definitely distinguish them by the size of the crown that's around them. When you got big roll buckles on the edge of that dent, the more the dent's going to work out during the crown removal process. So there you have it. I got that one shallowed up enough, and we're going to move on to the next one.